Okay, we're going to continue here with the exercises on Unit 10. I mean, we completed the exercises on Unit 10 last time and started in on the St. Michael prayer. And so we're going to hopefully finish up this time. We'll see how far we get. So let's start with our opening prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. So let's see, where were we? Okay, yeah, all right, we've gotten this far. So let's press on. Prelio. Anybody get a chance to look that up?
Battle.
Battle, yes. Yeah, we can come over here, put it in, Prelio. Whoops.
So it's second conjugation neuter. I mean, second declension neuter.
Yeah, there we go. I have to get the right one. There we go. Yeah.
And
battle, combat.
And it's in the ablative.
Yeah, okay. So we know in battle, B-A-T-T-L.
The first part of this is not all that difficult, but the
yeah.
end.
Well, that's why I chose this. I was going to lead you into a false sense of security here.
Yeah, well, it does get difficult, the last part.
Contra.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, now hopefully everybody know, well, not everybody. Yeah, against, yes, the Iran-Contra affair. The Contras being the rebels. So yes, against. And it is a preposition that takes the accusative. Nequitiam.
Correctamundo.
Oh yeah, wickedness, evilness.
I saw one translation which I like is villainy. That's a term you don't hear very often.
Villainy, yeah, wow. Yeah, wickedness. We get the word iniquity, I believe, from this one.
Oh yeah, good.
If I'm not mistaken. At, all right, well, you should probably be, everybody should be able to get that one. And. All right, so now we have insidious.
Traps or snares.
Snare, yeah. Let me put that in the, let's see. Yeah, it can be, literally, it means an ambush, but it also means a snare because,
or a trap.
Yeah, it not only does it refer to the physical ambush, but the devices that are used to carry out the ambush. So we will do snares, since that's what's in the English anyway.
So this is first conjugation accusative plural.
Yes. Insidia, feminine, which makes this accusative plural.
It's helpful if you identify which conjugation and which declension, I think.
Okay, there.
It may slow you down a little bit, I think, but it's helpful.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Diaboli. Yes. So we will do diabolus. Dash I, masculine. Whoops, that is not an I. The devil. So this would be devils, or whoops, or of the devil. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to put a colon in there. There we go. Semicolon.
And so could I ask you a question about esto?
Yes.
Okay. So this is subjunctive imperative, right?
No, it's imperative.
It's imperative, but not subjunctive?
No, it is not. Yeah, it is not subjunctive.
Okay. So it's just the command form.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, be happy would be esto beatus.
Okay.
Or be clean, esto mundus.
Oh yeah, I was getting ahead of myself. Imperat, I think.
Oh, now imperat is
subjunctive. Subjunctive.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, well, my dictionary should be able to find it. So this is what I use an electronic dictionary, by the way. So you see that is sum, and you go to the analysis, and you see first person imperative, or it can also be really? It can be third person singular imperative?
So this is the imperative of essere, is that correct?
Essay. ESSE.
Oh, okay. Essay, sorry.
Yeah, can you see that, or is it too small?
No, I can see it.
Okay, good. I don't know how this comes out on the other side. That's why I ask. So be something.
So can you read our into the next word? I mean, that's how we translate it.
Yeah. Praesidium.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to,
well, let's do the word first. Hold on.
Yeah, missing the word "our" kind of threw me also when I was doing the translation.
Let's see. So that is
protection. It's protection.
Yeah. Yes. Protection. Put that in there. There we go.
It also means guard. But
yeah, defense, protection, presiding over, help, aid, assistance.
The Spanish word presidio,
yes,
is related to it, and of course the city in Texas, presidio.
Well, it's also a presidio is like a fort.
It's a fortress, but it's a defense.
Yeah.
So they're all related.
Yeah.
But in this case, it really is a little different in the sense that it really doesn't mean defense, but more protection.
Yes, protection, or would be a better, well, even, okay, you can use, let me put down defense.
Okay.
I
mean, I assume that there's a reason why they translate it as protection more so than defense.
It can be either one. It can be defense against the snares of the devil.
Yeah, I've seen defense before.
Or it can be protection. And I didn't spell defense right. There we go. I can't spell in any language. Yeah, it can be either one. And that's why we're hopefully, if we get through this, we'll have a little discussion at the end. Why the canonical English translation does not match a relatively literal translation. And the answer is, well, we'll get to that part. I don't want to give away the answer.
Okay, so since we're missing the word "our," the "our" protection against the devil, I guess
Yeah.
it's just in general, just saying be protection, just protect everybody. Is
No,
that-
the possessives are often dropped in Latin if
Okay,
they are understood.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant to ask, is whether we could say the word our is understood.
Yeah, we could do be a protection or be a defense against the snares of the devil. That makes good sense in English.
But it's a little more personal to
yeah.
say are.
Yes, I would agree. As I said, that would be a literal translation if somewhat, shall we say, lacking in feeling, or well, maybe that's not the right word, but a bit lacking in the emotion that you're trying to convey here. Anyway, yes, imperat is subjunctive here. So we haven't had the subjunctive, impero, imperare. So if we said imperat with an A, then it would be
Present.
be commands.
Michael, does the word may introduce the subjunctive here?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, when the word where it says may he command, right?
Right.
So I'm asking whether if you say may so and so do this, may so and so do that, does that word may introduce the subjunctive for the verb?
Oh, I see.
Is that
what threw me is English really doesn't have a subjunctive.
No,
yes.
I'm saying
yes. Well, if you see a may something, then in Latin, that would be expressed in the subjunctive.
Okay, so I'm saying that's our tip off. That
Yes.
it's in the subjunctive.
Yes. Well, I would have gone that the ending is the tip off, but okay.
Okay, well, I'm going from English to
You're
Latin.
going the other way.
No.
We'll wave each other as we, pass by. Okay.
And this is a first conjugation verb, imperare.
Yep. Right down there. So, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's why I put that in there. Ili. I-I-I-L-L-I. You'll have to look that one up, I think. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Sometimes this doesn't always find. Yeah, here it is. Let's see, what do we got here? Adverb figures stand on that side belonging to that party. Yeah, in this case, it just means them.
Really? It's not that?
Pardon?
It's not that?
That?
The word that. You're saying it
okay, that's all right. Ile. All right, let me bring up the word.
Because Eli is in the dative, and the imperative here takes the dative. When you say imperat, that takes the dative Eli.
Yeah.
And so and the word, it does translate as that. I guess it could also translate as them.
No, okay. This is where you got to be a little bit careful about the declension and how it is declined. All right, let's put in Eli itself. Okay, so you may see this, and that is short for Eli.
Well, But no,
Wait,
ILLE is the word. ILLE.
No, it's ILLI.
No, I'm saying the word is ILLE
Right,
in the nominative, but in the dative, it's ILLI.
right.
And that is that it means that. And the word imperat means not just command, but it means give orders that. It gives orders, so it takes.
Okay, no, okay. See now, all right. No,
Takes the word
ile.
that.
No, hold on. Ile, ila, ilud is a pronoun. Okay, it's a pronoun adjective. So it is best translated as them in this case. May God command, may he command them. Not may God command that. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I guess they both have the same structure though.
That they do.
Because Ele, Elius, Eli, Elum, Elo, Eli, Elorum, Elis, Elos, Elis is the structure for that.
Okay, let's try it this way. Yes, you are right. In that it is to something which is regarded as remote, as opposed to this one, it would be translated as that one. Okay, it's not simply that. All right, so, and in contrast with he can iste to something connected with that, he, she, it. So it's not just a simple that. It would be that one, or in this case, that ones, or them is what we basically say. Trying to think. Oh, of course I don't have my Collins here. Let's see if he has a good section on that. Let's see here. We should be able to look this up. I'm sure he does. Let's see here. Yeah, demonstrative pronoun, adjective, that, chapter 23.
In some sense, that word imperat, it makes more sense to say, may he give orders. Because if you say to them, so I think we're in agreement that this is well, wait a minute. Is this the dative plural for
Yes.
them? Okay. So,
well, actually, no, it's not the dative plural. It is dative singular.
right. So how do you get them from dative singular? Yeah, see, I have Eli means dative singular, but I'm just curious how you get them out of that.
Well,
and
let's
not
put in the literal, that one.
okay.
We'll
So
come
we
back
have
to that.
Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that one translation of that of the word imperare is gives orders to.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives orders. And so if you're going to say to that one, then it makes more sense to say gives order to that one than command to that one.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind here the snares of the devil.
Right.
So singular, command him, the devil, or that one, the devil. Tell you what, let's go on and we'll come back and see how it all fits together.
Okay.
All right, Deus. And if nobody knows that, if you don't know that one, then you need to go back to remedial.
Square one.
Square one, yes. I'll make you sit in the corner with a Torpissime hat. Okay, supplices. Now this one is kind of a tricky one.
That goes with deprecamur.
Yes. Supplices is, yeah, it is, you'll find that this can be accusative or, yeah, it's accusative here, but it means humbly or humbly begging or entreating or beseeching or let's say begging.
It's an adverb, isn't it?
Let's see. I didn't spell beseeching right, did I? Begging, yeah. Let's see. It is a no, it's actually accusative here. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let's do deprecamur first.
So this is a deponent verb.
This is a deponent verb.
Or pray.
Deprecur, yes. If you notice, we have precor or precis or preco. Preco is just pray. So deprecor is, it's where we get the word deprecate, which, sorry. Let's see. So, hold on, let me get the right place. To pray for, to intercede in behalf of. So, supplices deprecamur is, well, I guess deprecate has the wrong meaning these days, now that I think about it. So, entreat is good. Entreat, beg, pray. Let's see, what else do we want here? Oh, imprecate. That's the word I'm looking for, not deprecate. Golly, there we go. How often do you hear the word imprecate these days? Implicate, yes, but imprecate, no. Okay.
So your blog, www.preces-latine.org. So those preces is prayers.
Yeah.
Okay, so these two are related.
They're related, yeah. If we put in prex, which is the single singular, prayer, a prayer. Preces, this is a third declension.
Third declension.
So the plural is preces.
Like Rex.
Yes. Yeah, Rex Regis. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and it's usually in the context of a prayer to a deity. So but let me find preco. There we go. Which is the active form of precor, which is to pray, to beg, supplicate, request, invoke, call upon, beseech, et cetera, to speak as a suppliant. And that's where we throw in the supplices is.
So this is first person plural.
Yes.
Okay. I think it helps to.
Oh, yeah, we should put a we in there. Thank you. Tuque. Tu is thou.
And could you say that it's understood to say, and do thou? Because that's how we translate it.
Well, we haven't got to the verb yet.
I understand, but sometimes these verbs are understood.
Let's wait until we assemble the whole thing.
Okay.
Right now, we're kind of doing the secret decoder ring phase.
Okay, but and thou.
Yes. So, oh, yeah. So, and thou. Princeps.
Just drop the P and the S.
Yeah. Princeps. Principis is a third, and I believe it's masculine. Let me double check before I say something wrong. That's the adjective. Yeah, there it is. Oh, no. All right. Well, okay. In this case, princeps is an adjective, but you're using the adjective as a noun. So it literally means from principle, or the first in a line of things, or first man, first person. Well, okay, the first man in Rome would be the head of Rome, which would have been the consuls at the time. So chief, principal, most distinguished, and prince is a valid translation. It's been used in a number of, well, it should have prince in here. Let me scroll down some. Second line of soldiers. Well, okay, it probably is. Okay, chief, superior. It's probably, oh, there we go, prince. There we go, prince and sovereign ruler. They didn't have princes in ancient Rome, actually. They had a different government system, but they would refer to a prince of a different country under princeps. Militiae. Whoop. There. Yes. Army. So what we have here.
It's also translated as host.
Yep. What is a host in English?
It can mean a large group.
Yeah. Like a host of, I don't know what, locusts? I guess we
Host of ghosts.
Yeah, yeah. It means army. And host actually, let me get my English dictionary up here, and we'll throw in host. Let's see here. Well, all right. Yeah, here we go. Let me add this to, let me add this to the, so let's see, so we have that, and dictionary. There we go. Oops. There, oh, all right, where'd it go? There we go. So as in a host of or hosts of a large number of peoples or things. Archaic, an army. That's why you tend to see it in used, that was a popular term when the Douay-Rheims was translated. So that's why they say it's somewhat archaic. I'm not sure I agree with that, but anyway. So host.
Michael, could I make a comment about princeps?
Sure.
You know that Allison teaches medieval history, and that course begins, actually, her course begins with Augustus Caesar. And my recollection from reading her text is that the government, you may recall, was completely changed when Augustus became emperor. And the name of that government was called Principate, or we would say Principate. And so the Senate, the Roman Senate in the Principate, they gave Augustus the title of Princeps, which meant first citizen.
Right.
Or emperor. So that's where that term derives from. It derives from Augustus Caesar and the title that the Roman Senate conferred on him.
Actually, it's older than Augustus.
Really?
There were periods of time in the Republic where they appointed a princeps just because things were too crazy. They needed one man to sort them out. Sulla comes to mind.
So it was revived under Augustus.
Well, it always meant, okay, it comes from principal, meaning first or primary. And so when Augustus became emperor, it took on a new dimension.
But that's the first time that there was a principate government.
Yes. An actual principate, yes. Yeah. There were other periods in time where they had a dictator, which was not the same thing.
Right.
A dictator, the dictator had a license to work for either a certain period of time or for a certain good, because, you know, the Roman Senate was too divided. And so he would be put in charge in order to bring things into order. In fact, I think, and maybe Allison or Alex, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Julius Caesar had the title of dictator for a while.
Wouldn't be surprised. But not princeps.
No. Although I'm sure he wanted it. It's probably what he was hoping for when he headed to the forum that day. But I think he actually was appointed dictator for a while. It was at the end of the Civil War, you know, when he crossed the Rubicon, and, you know, the various factions,
right,
in the subsequent Civil War. I'll have to double check that. But anyway,
on Militiae, can you add the word host?
Okay, sure. And then Celestis. Heavenly, yes. Okay. Now, we haven't had this one yet, but whoop, this is an adjective. It is a third declension adjective. There we go. let me bring that up. Celestis, and you can see celestis, the masculine, feminine, and neuter forms are, well, excuse me, the neuter form is different. The masculine, feminine forms are the same. It is a third, let's see, where do they say it in here? Oh, there it is, third declension. And yeah, it's related to Chelum, or heaven. So Chelum is heaven, Celestis is heavenly. So just like you take heaven and make it into an adjective, you can do the same thing in Latin, as you can take a noun and make it into an adjective, meaning it has the qualities thereof. So we shall say heavenly. Satanam.
This is the accusative, right?
Accusative, yes. Satana. That should be actually masculine. I think that's one of
The exceptions.
the exceptions. Let me just check that. Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. Oh, yeah, the in decline. Yes, that is masculine.
I couldn't find this in any of my dictionaries.
Well, that's because you're using classical. You need something like, now Lewis and Short has a lot of the, Lewis and Short goes to a later period that covers part of the Christian era. So you will see a lot of Christian words in the Lewis and Short. And that's why I recommended you get a dictionary that included that. But anyway.
I'm surprised that that Collins doesn't have it.
No, he wouldn't. He's strictly classical up through the 1st century.
But
I have a copy of it, by the way. I like it very much.
It's ecclesiastical Latin.
Not oh, you mean sorry, I was thinking, sorry.
I'm talking about our textbook.
Excuse me. I was thinking of the dictionary, not the textbook. Yeah, there is the, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Cassell's, not Collins. Wow. Interesting. Which means, now that you know this, you can always decline Satan.
Very cute.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe I need a little applause track on the side that I can hit the button on every now and then.
It's a relief that we now have the ability to do so.
Yes. Maybe that's the problem, is there's a lot of people in the church that don't speak Latin. I wonder. Interesting. Oh, well, anyway. Aliosqua. This is another one of those compound. Alius.
And other.
Yeah, are, let's see if we have it, is other. The others, another, somebody else, not us. So others, and then plus and.
Or it can be and other.
So and other.
Right.
I think it's got to be in others, but well, we'll see what fits.
If you look at the next two words, spiritus malignos.
Those are plural.
Yeah, I know, but you don't say and others.
Oh, yeah, in English. You're right. That's why, okay. It literally means others, but you're right. And that's what I mean about massaging things into good English. Which
that's what I'm saying. You can't say and others, evil spirits.
Yeah. Okay, spiritus. Yeah. What? Spirit, actually. Actually, okay.
Can it mean spirits, plural?
Well, hold on. Let me finish here. This is 4th declension. We have not had that. Spiritus. Let me bring it up. And actually, Francis is right. Spiritus can mean breath. Okay. And
among the definitions that my online dictionary that I like to use is soul, but I don't know if you would compare a soul to a spirit. Theologically speaking, they're not really the same, are they?
no,
Because I mean, angels, we have souls, but angels are spirits. I don't know if angels have souls themselves, but
well, no, they're pure spirit.
so that would mean the demons are
A soul, on the other hand, is a spirit.
right.
Okay. And then, of course, God is pure spirit as well. Now,
For an interesting Venn diagram.
yeah, you're right. Spiritus comes from spiro, which means breathing. And so,
God probably did breathe them or talk them into life.
well, see, if you read the Old Testament, it talks about God breathing life into the clay that formed Adam. And so spiritus, I mean, it could also mean the hiss of a snake. So I'm pretty sure we're not talking about that. But yeah, it means the breath or the spiration, okay, of God. So when we use it ecclesiastically, it means spirit. I think it should be down here someplace. Spiritus personified, a spirit, late Latin, Spiritus Sanctus, or just the Spiritus, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. So the sense here is this one.
You know, I wonder if that means that's what happened at Pentecost, was that the Holy Spirit breathed to the apostles.
Yeah. Yep. And in fact, the relationship of the three divine persons is Jesus is the begotten one, and the Holy Spirit is through spiration, or the procession is the word I'm trying to come up with here. So yes, in some sense, the breath of God is metaphor, or rather the spirit is, well, actually it's more than the metaphor.
Well, based on what you just said, that certainly seems like that's what happened at Pentecost.
Yes. And you will see that that metaphor is used in numerous places in the Bible. Anyway, malignos.
Evil.
Yes, whoop. Evil. Oh, hold on. Where we get malign.
Malignant.
Yeah, malignant. Sorry. Qui, spiteful. Oh yeah, spiteful works too. There you go. Qui. Ooh, yes. Agnus Dei qui totus peccata mundi. Ad.
Two.
Generally, it is two.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I believe Francis said by. So ad. And part of it is, this is accusative. So you got to kind of look in front of it. So this means two. And it's not only motion. Is not only motion towards, but it is also physical motion towards, but it's also a final state. So you could say, well, ad orientem, facing the east. But yeah.
Well, I'll wait till you get to the next word. I have a question about the next word.
Okay. But ad orientem, facing the east. We also have in the creed, qui sedate ad dexterem patris, who is seated at the right hand of the Father. That was Christ's final destination after his birth, life, and death and resurrection. So in this case, since we're using accusative, it's the final destination. You can look up ad here, and you will find preposition with the accusative.
Right.
So, and it's opposite of op, to, toward, first. So let's see what's next. Perditionem.
Perdition.
Perdition. Well, okay. Perditio, perditionis, third, and yeah, perdition. That, but also destruction is another possibility.
So
ruin, perdition, destruction.
Some people, I think, use that interchangeably with hell, but I gather it really is different from inferno. That's what my question was.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Well, okay. Again, what we are, metaphor. Metaphors run all through Latin. They do in Englishes too, but even more so through Latin, I think. So yeah, what is the state? Your state in hell is one of ruin. Okay. Of destruction. You can't get any worse than that. So and part of it, I think, in English is hell was kind of a 4-letter word. I mean, I know it is a 4-letter word, but I meant it was considered sort of a vulgar term. Yeah, that's the word I want. And so the polite term was perdition.
Yep, you see the road to perdition.
Yep.
Interchangeably with the road to hell.
Yep.
But it really does mean something different than that. Insofar as you're saying it's destruction or ruin, it's not the literal inferno.
Right. Well, if they say the road to hell, they're implying the destination, I guess. The road to perdition is understood as, or I should say, the destination of that road is understood as hell.
Right.
I hear there are a lot of skulls of priests and bishops that line the road to perdition.
There's what is it? Actually, the one I heard was the skulls of bishops line the floor of hell. I do have to tell you the story. And this was from, I'd have to go look it up. It's in Jurgens. He wrote a very excellent 3-volume set on the early church fathers. But he has a story in there, and I think it was Syriac. I think it was 5th century, but don't quote me. But it starts out like this: in that there was a monk who was very lax in his observance of the rule. And the rule, if you're not familiar with it, had to do with the recitation of the divine office and various other things. So anyway, this monk was pretty lax in his observing the monastic rules, and so his abbot used to continually, try and motivate him through whatever means. He tried all sorts of things, but it just wasn't working. Well, eventually, the abbot went on to a different monastery, or well, it wouldn't have been a monastery then; it would have been community. And eventually, the abbot dies. And so now the abbot was a good abbot, holy abbot, led a very good life, and so he's there in heaven, and he's really happy. I mean, eternal happiness. And so anyway, he's talking to I don't remember who it was. We'll say it was Saint Peter. And he said, I've often wondered whatever happened to that hapless monk that I used to kind of berate to follow the monastic rule. And Saint Peter says, well, what didn't end well? And he said, well, can I see him? He says, yeah. So they go down into hell itself. And he's standing there in a cauldron of molten metal, up to his waist. He's in molten metal. There's a big cauldron. There's a fire under it. Not exactly a place I'd want to. Well, actually, I'd step outside, and it's probably pretty close. And the bishop said, or rather, the abbot said, "Oh, I begged you, to follow the rule and to mend your ways, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And it says, "I'm sorry to see you like this." And the monk says, yes, abbot, I should have followed your directions. But on the other hand, I'm not as bad off as the poor bishops whose shoulders I'm standing on.
Oh.
So the bishop was totally in the cauldron of molten metal. So it's not a new concept. Just leave it at that. All right, moving on. Perditionem animarum. Anima, anime. Feminine.
Soul or spirit?
Souls.
Of the
Souls.
Of the souls.
Yeah, so, well, here, let's do soul. So, of the souls, yeah. Or maybe we can just say, well, no, we'll put it of.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you were using this like as an adjective, could you say this is maybe like the root of where we get like animated as in somebody enthusiastic? Because I see that animositas is what they use for enthusiasm. So just
yeah. Okay. We definitely get animation from anima, because anima means soul, something that has a soul. Therefore, it is alive, animate. Okay. And so we kind of, in English, we stretch that a little bit from animate, alive to animate, lively.
got it.
And I don't believe Latin does that, but
well, one of the reasons why I was asking is that above, or actually, yeah, the word above animus in this dictionary I'm looking at is animositas.
Oh, okay.
And one of the definitions besides ardor and high spirits is enthusiasm. So that's why I was kind of curious.
Musitas?
Yes, musitas.
Animositas. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's ANIMOSITAS. I guess.
Oh, animositas.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. Because we also get animosity in English from that.
Yeah, well, that's a second.
Yeah, I don't think they come from the same. Well, they might. Certainly in the sense of spirit, they might. But in ecclesiastical Latin, it's iracundia, animositas, animosity.
Hi.
So I'm a bit, let's see, let me look at animosis. Oh, full of air. Well, okay, full of hot air, maybe. Animos. Oh, okay. Now, actually, all right. I think animosis comes from animus, and animus is not the same. Animus is, oh dear. Well, boy. Generally in ecclesiastical Latin, that is the general power of perception, thought, or intellect. Okay. It can mean spirit in certain cases, but ecclesiastically you don't use it. I don't think those two came from the same source, but I'm not certain. Because to me, animosity or animositas is vengeance, vengeful. Pervagantur.
To range or to roam.
Yes, pervago.
It's really, this is another deponent verb, I gather.
Yeah, it is. I believe it is. Yeah, pervago. Yes. It has no active form. So, whoop.
So this would be third person, plural.
Yeah, so, oh, it's an it's an atus. Okay. Whoop, can't type in. So, to wander, let's see, let's get a nice definition here.
Or
wander,
or you
range,
could, or roam.
Roam. Yeah, any of those are good.
I have a question about this. You know, you mentioned that the first person of deprecamur, when we were talking about that deponent verb, is deprecor.
Yes.
And so, given the fact that we've covered loquor and pervagor and deprecor, it seems like all these deponent verbs in the first person singular have that or ending. Is that common to most of the deponent verbs?
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, because a deponent verb is one that only has the passive form.
Right.
So the or is a first person passive.
Okay.
So yes, what you said is correct.
So that's one tip off. Yeah.
Yep.
You see the context of it. So this is it's in the active voice is the point here.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. For those who I don't think we've covered it specifically, but there are a class of verbs in Latin that are known as deponent verbs that are passive in form, but they have an active meaning. Loquor is probably the best. Loquor, I speak. It's not that I am being talked about. It is that, which might be decor, but rather loquor means I speak. So loquor Latine means I speak Latin. And in Latin, they use an adverb. It means is I speak Latinly. But we don't say that in English. We say I speak Latin. But all of those deponent verbs have the OR ending in the first person, and they have no active form, but they are used as an active voice sense in English. So
I guess one way to think about it is, if it doesn't make sense to, when you see the UR ending, if it doesn't make sense, then you might check to see if it's a deponent verb.
Yes.
I mean, you would otherwise think of it as a passive voice.
I don't know. I know most of the deponent verbs, so
No, what I'm saying is that because
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Alex.
the UR tends to tip me off that it's passive.
Yeah, that is a fair statement.
So if it doesn't make sense when you see that as being in the passive voice, then it's worth checking to see whether it's a deponent verb.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, in. Preposition plus ablative, because we see it, so it means.
It could mean about.
In, or about. It could also mean on. But in mundo is wanders about. It really would be about or around or wander in the world. I guess we don't say wander in the world, do we? Mundo, yes, mundus. Mundus. And that is a masculine. World. World. There we go. So in mundo, in the world. Divina. Divine in this case.
Through divine power.
Hold on. Well, we haven't got the next word here. Divina virtute. But yes, that's what we're leading up to. Divina, and this is divinus, divina, divinum. It is an adjective. And it means divine in this case. Whoops. If I can spell it, there we go, divine. Yeah, we can, I don't think there's any D-I-V-I-N-U-S. Let's see. Of or belonging to a deity, divine. I don't think there's any real, let me do a quick divinely inspired. Okay, it can mean prophetic, but that's in a godlike manner. So yeah, prophetic is a possibility. But you'll see that when we go to the next one, virtute, virtus. Let's see, virtutis. There we go. This is third, by the way. This is another one of those words that gets a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll haul it up. You can see some of them. Literally, it means sort of manliness. There we go. There it is. It's from virtutus, or virtus. So in the simplest sense, it means manliness. But in the more general sense, it means strength, vigor, bravery, courage, worth, and it even means virtue. Okay. If you go back and look at the ancient Greek philosophers, they were very much concerned about virtue. Unfortunately, today you say the word virtue And you're there, you know, I mean, that virtue is you know, you're not supposed to cultivate those anymore. Those are bad things. But virtue in the Greek philosophers literally meant that. It was meant a strength, and often a moral strength, or living a life in excellence. So yeah, moral perfection, virtuousness, virtue. So we can say, you know, we can say power, we can say virtue, we can say, whoops, what else here? Excellence, excellence. I don't know what else we want to throw in here. Yeah, bravery would work, but we'll leave it at that for now. In.
It's a preposition.
Yeah, now what is it though? But accusative in this case, in infernum. So into, or something like that. Infernum, yes. Now
Now we're talking about hell.
yep, now we're talking about hell. Let's see, let me write this down. That's masculine. So, it does mean that which lies beneath. Okay. So you will see it underground, and this is more classical. Okay. More classical. Or the lower regions, or in the depths of the earth, or ecclesiastically, you know, it's hell. One of the things that was, well, you even saw it in Dante's trilogy, Purgatorio. No, wait. Inferno, Purgatorio, Paradiso. Paradiso or Paradiso? Paradiso, I think. And if anybody ever tries to tell you that Columbus proved, or Columbus discovered that the earth was round, refer them to Dante's Inferno.
Right.
Because it is the story of a gentleman who started progressing through. Now, granted, some of it was well, it was all metaphorical, but he started down, burrowing into the earth, and when he was at the center of the earth was hell itself, and then he started coming back out. Well, if the earth was flat, how did you do that? And of course, and Dante refers to levels of hell and purgatory and such. So if you've ever seen any of the classical illustrations of Dante's Inferno, the earth was very, very round. So, but anyway, so yeah, Infernos can mean underground or the depths of the earth. But generally speaking, when you are, well, all right. In the Creed, we have descendet ad infernum.
When they mean to say Sheol.
Yeah, in that case, it really does not mean hell as in the place of damnation, but rather to the abode of the dead.
Right.
Sometimes called the limbo of the fathers. That is where all of the Old Testament righteous were waiting for the resurrection. And there's a
Is Sheol, is that a Hebrew term?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and Gehenna is another Hebrew term, and that is always hell. Okay. You know, Sheol was kind of a shadowy place, but Gehenna was, you know, you didn't want to go there.
Now, Gehenna, isn't that also a reference to a trash pile outside of Jerusalem we used to burn all their refuse?
Could be. I don't know. I haven't heard that. But anyway, the point is, do be a little bit careful because it is not always hell, okay? Or the place of eternal damnation. And in fact, the old English word hell, or if you look in the dictionary, says that it does also mean the underworld, but not necessarily the place of eternal damnation. So you got to be a little bit careful when you see that word. If it's capitalized in English, in fact, that's the way we usually get. In fact, you will see in the Creed, he descended into hell, Hell, lowercase h.
Yeah.
So that he's referring to the underworld, the abode of the dead, waiting for the resurrection. Oh, I know what I was going to say. There's a wonderful icon that the Orthodox have, or I should say Eastern Christians, because there's Eastern Catholics, that has Christ crossing over into the underworld with all of the Old Testament prophets and Adam and Eve, and the bridge he is standing on is his cross. And that Adam and Eve are there. Yeah, I mean, it even implies in Genesis that eventually Adam and Eve will return to paradise. So anyway, I'll see if I can look up a copy. Ooh, we're running out of time. The good news is we only have. So, but in this case, hell, it is hell, place of eternal damnation. Detrude.
Cast out.
Driven is a little bit closer. To thrust, drive, force. Remember there's a de in there. So the notion is to thrust down. In English, we say, I think cast down is the usual English. Cast down into hell. Is that? I honestly don't remember the English version of this prayer. But anyway, it is
cast into.
Yeah, but this is a verb, third. So it's imperative.
Imperative, right?
Yeah, imperative.
It's detrudere. Is it a third conjugation verb?
Yeah, it is. Let's see here. It is, detrudo. Oops, let me see here. Detrude. Is it east? Hold on. Detrude C. There we go. And detrudum, and it is third conjugation. I should put the ERE in here. Let me put the ERE in there. There we go. Some dictionaries are very lazy about that.
Well, I guess what you just said about hell, that it makes sense to use the word down.
Yes. It can be cast, thrown, thrust down. The day in there is very definitely a downward motion prefix.
But
I'll do the last one.
Yeah, but given what you said about hell, it just makes sense that it would.
Oh, yeah. All right. So what do we have here? We have a minute to put together.
They wait till the very end to make it so difficult to us before we finally see detrude. Where the heck is that verb?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, let me tell you what. We're almost out of time. So what I will do. All right. Well, yeah. Let's. I have to go into a sim tomorrow, so I really do need to. All right. Hold on. All right. Let me get my web page. I really do have to break off here in a minute. So I will find. Okay. Where is it? Angeli. there. Yeah, here we go. So let me, hold on, I'm gonna make this larger and I'm going to, I'm gonna make screen sharing and I am going to share this web page. There we go. So yeah, it's, Princeps Militiae Celestis, Prince of the heavenly army, heavenly host. So we've got the subject here of the clause, and then we have the direct object, Satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, Satan and all the other evil spirits. Then we have yet another clause, qui ad perditionem animarum pervergantur in mundo, who at the perdition of souls wander in the world. If we untangle that, really it means who wander in the world for the or ruin of souls. Because remember, odd can take a final state like qui sadesa dextrum patris. So
I kept looking for the word seeking, and it's just not there.
You're looking for what word?
The word seeking, which is what we say in the prayer, but it's not there.
Yeah, there. Well,
Not there in Latin.
We have who prowl about the world for the ruin of souls.
No, but it's in the prayer. It's who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
There is a version with the word seeking in it.
Oh,
Most of the prayers that I know use the verb seeking.
Seeking. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I only know the Latin word version, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I got
an insignificant word.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, there is no seeking.
Right.
I never paid much attention to that. I'll have to look at that.
Kept looking and looking, and I thought that I must be missing something somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I got this copy out of the Recolta originally. I'll have to look that up. But you're right. I remember now that I think about it. Yeah, seeking the ruin of souls. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, there isn't one. All right, it is 9 o'clock. I really do need to disappear. So
can I ask you a question? Where does the Divina Virtute, where is that?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry. We were seeking the ruin of souls here. Okay. Detrude, thrust. Okay. Into hell.
Right.
Divina virtute is ablative. So thrust into hell by the divine power.
Oh, okay. That's where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
By the divine power.
Yeah. See, we say by the power of God, which is not literal, accurate, but not literal. Yeah. It's by divine power.
I noticed that you snuck that word power in at the very end on virtute. That wasn't an accident on your part.
No, it was a recognition that virtus has, okay, virtus comes from vir, manliness. Okay, so if you look at the classical, and I really do mean classical vision of what manliness was supposed to be, it was virtue, strength, courage, bravery. Yeah, it was almost the what is it, the scout motto, but all wrapped up.
But potentia seems to be the word that we've used more often for power.
Potentia is power in this. Yes. Yes, potentia, is usually a word that's for power. Deus omnipotens, meaning all power, potens, omnipotens, all powerful, for which we have omnipotentia. And so, yeah.
Well, that threw me too, because I never would have thought of power or virtute meaning power. And
Well,
I know that that's what our translation says, and I kept thinking, where do we
well,
get?
it's not power in the sense of, yeah, power has a couple of different meanings in English, okay? When we speak about military power, we're really talking about the force, military force. But the power of prayer is not a physical force. Okay.
I was looking for something like potentia Dei.
Yeah, no.
And so the Divina Virtute, that threw me.
Yeah. Well, but let's okay. Let's I'm going to read through this for a second. And you're going to see that you're going to see the I guess the word is the lilting. Is that the right word I want? Quality of the Latin. Sancta Michael Arcangele, defende nos in prelio, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli esto praesidium. Impera illi Deus supplices de precamor, tuque princips militile celestis, satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, qui ad perditionem animarum pervergantur in mundo divina virtute in infernum detrude. There's a certain flow there that you just can't really capture in English very easily. So, but anyway, really do have to.
Can you send us that translation? Because
here, I'll do you one better. There, that's my webpage.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will, if I get a chance, I will look things up. As I said, I tend not to focus on the English a whole lot. But we're running out of time. But yeah, I put that final translation there, okay, based on what we've done, if you get a chance. And and think about, the differences between the Latin and the English. And by the way, that translation of that, the English translation is quite good. Okay. It conveys the sense very well, even if it departs literally. Okay. Next time now I am going to be gone most of next week. I will be back in time for class, but I do not know if I will have time to do the notes for Unit 11. So you will probably get an email. If you don't hear from me at all, then we're probably not having class. I'm probably so tied up that I don't even have a chance to send out a note. In fact, yeah, let's say that we're not going to have class next time unless you hear from me. If we do, it'll be Unit 11 and the notes will be in there. Let's do it that way. I did get an interesting email message today that I needed to read the, actually, let me get the exact words for that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, I got an email here that said the OMT summit will be held in a carnivore habitat. This is at KSC. Please review the attached safety presentation, Carnivore Risk Mitigation for Orion Business Travelers. They're talking about the alligators that are all over KSC.
Oh.
So, yeah, they recommended that we don't pet them. And if any of them get into the building, instead of checking to see if they have the proper badging to get into that facility, we should put a safe distance between them and us and call the appropriate security detail. They can check the badges.
Is it really that much of a problem?
Well, they had a number of interesting pictures of alligators that had gotten into buildings. So evidently it happens. I think they're more concerned about the alligators that wander around at Cape Canaveral. It's a very marshy area.
Sinking the ruin of souls.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That was funny, Alex.
So,
All right.
Hey, well, I want to hear what he said.
He said, seeking the ruin of souls.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, all right, I gotta go here. Let's finish up here. I will mute everybody. And whoop, that's not the one I want. Come on, there we go. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum. Adveniat regnum tuum. Fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie. Et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris. Et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen.
Thank you, Michael, and safe travels.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So next time, either next week or the week after. And with that, I will sign off.